Alright, everybody, what is up, and welcome back to another reaction. That is right. This time we're reacting to NASCAR Road Rage 2. That is right, number 2. I think there's 11 of these. So, yeah. So, with that being said, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe if you are new, if you like what you are seeing, and make sure you hit that like button if you are drinking something. Let's go.
Elliott has the lead, but Hamlin looks to the inside. Elliott diving, trying to block. Down the backstretch again. Less than 3 to go. The bumper to the back of the 24. Elliott goes around. Hamlin takes the lead, and the caution comes out.
Get it going.
24 and the 11 having a difference.
You can hear the crowd.
See, that's where I would have been a dick, and I would have just thrown a punch. I wouldn't have gave you shit. You can even say, come on, man.
Once again,
like,
so close,
bro,
to his first win in the Monster Energy Cup Series. Denny Hamlin fighting for a spot in the championship 4. Just after the checkered flag came out, going down the backstretch, you see the 24 showing his displeasure and how he was raced by Denny Hamlin. And then it was time to talk about it.
Chase Elliott, you wrecked me, clearly. That's what he's saying.
They just took a heck of a beating. Boyer and Newman going at it.
Well, we'll show you why.
Wow.
And what happened after the checkered flag between these two.
can't have the music, we're just gonna be talking over shit. So we're gonna be cutting that volume right there because of the music in the background.
Let's set that aside. This is on the cool down lap after the checkered flag.
Wow. Well, obviously something took place before all this. Bam.
What is that paint scheme?
But Boyer not happy
Boyer
at all.
Looks like a machine.
Just throwing lefts, my dude.
He's not going to be happy. No,
well,
he did. He did kind of make a little move contact there.
Yeah, that's what you said. Come on, let's see if they're going to fight. I want to see this.
A little discussion. A few little words here. He's like, hey, dude, one of us is going to win. Well, we thought Toyota might have a chance to get their first victory here at Michigan, but didn't happen.
Oh, here we go. Nothing wrong with controversy.
Well, he did get the helmets off. That might be a smart move on Vickers' part.
Yeah, if you're going to punch you better leave the helmet on, Andy.
I saw somebody grab was it Kyle Busch by the helmet?
Yeah, I remember that.
I think I'd rather have it off.
Kyle Busch finished third today. Kyle, the fans saw a great battle, but what were you so angry with Brian about?
He hung on my right rear quarter panel all the way down the front straightaway and gave the win to the 88 car. He slowed us down so much. He had no idea the 88 car was coming. And the 88 just drove right by both of us on the outside because Brian Vickers was trying to slow both of us down. Just stupid.
30th career victory for Brad Keselowski.
Boyer
as
not
Boyer
happy.
and Jones.
They're going to have a little body work to do.
I give so much credit to Brad Keselowski.
Gas, you right in front of the whole field, you dumb. Do that next time, that's
were none too pleased at the end of this race with Eric Jones. Tell me what you said to him.
It's just, what are you going to do? You turn him right in front of the field and hurt him? I mean, he puts you in a bad situation. I lifted for him, cost me 3 spots right there. We should have finished second. Everybody knows that. That was dumb on his part. I mean, next time,
he wanted to say on his part.
Wreck him in front of the
Oh,
field.
he wanted to say it
I mean,
so
you got to
bad.
run like that. You just don't move up. I should have just wrecked him, I guess. But our rush truck center forward was fast all weekend long. It's God, that pisses me off. But you know, all in all, it was.
You know, payback sometimes. Well, a lot of times it happens around this place. Tony Stewart just got paid back for what he did earlier to Brian Vickers.
So the attitude kind of, what the heck, I'll let him go and then pay it off.
And I can guarantee you that all Vickers has been thinking about since he got turned by Stewart was getting in a position to do this.
Looking for him. Where's that 14?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
One more time.
this is early. Okay, now this is just now.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's so. I mean, he
Vickers
didn't
comes
even
from the
like.
left side of the racetrack, or
He
from
didn't
on
even
your
bother
screen,
going
comes
for
from
the
the right
brakes
side of the racetrack
until
across
he knew he
to
was
run in
gonna
the
wreck
back of
himself.
Tony.
Now this is what happened earlier in the race. It's a on board with Stewart. That's Vickers up ahead. They're going down at 11. Stewart just leans on him and keeps leaning and just push Vickers into the tires down there.
And you know what, really, and Tony, and we've seen this twice, Tony got on him and would not get off of him. I mean, pushed him. We saw it a little later with Joey Logano. There was no other cars around. It was just a one-on-one.
how you gonna
Joey's
get
like,
that
I'm
down?
tired of messing
You're
with
gonna
you.
have
I just
to lift
pushed you
the
out of the
back
way.
end up.
That took out one car, the car that was messing with him, just
with the
like
tow
this.
truck, and then drop him down.
Going in the corner right there, he just gets a touch. Right,
You can see
the
that?
back end gets off the gas. Was that Tony Stewart that he made contact with, Robbie? And through the grass. Boy, those roof laps really did their job then, because that car wanted to take off. It sure did, and you can see that Robbie Gordon is having a what appears to be a heated conversation with Tony Stewart. There's knock it off! You're fucking out of here! Take off! Hey, enough!
A 4-car jam session that we've been watching for a lap or two has ended up with Kurt Busch in the wall. In the number 2, he was racing with Tony Stewart, Greg Biffle, and younger brother Kyle.
That was predictable. I mean, these guys were not cutting each other any slack, and they'd been doing it for a number of laps, and it was going to happen sooner or later.
This was coming off turn 4.
Now, Tony had already passed Kurt a couple of times, and he passed him back, and this time he just didn't. Kurt tried to come up in front of Tony, and he said, we're not having any part of that.
There was no room.
not a
His
lot of give
spotter
and take
should have
right
said,
now.
hey, you're not
Denny
clear.
Hamlin in the midst of that as well. Busch
And he
comes
didn't.
in as they're looking at the damage to Stewart's car.
That is stupid.
Kurt comes up to offer his opinion.
And guess what? They got in the 2 car. Parked
for the day.
Meet me at the Oval office, please.
Kurt, what happened on the racetrack and then on pit road?
You know, pit road was just me stopping there to make a point and only making the situation worse, so that was my fault. But out on the racetrack with Tony, you know, we raced 10, 15 laps side by side. He didn't give an inch, and I was making sure that I stayed off of him because earlier in the day, he tried to wreck us at 2 restarts. So I'm not sure where he came from today. It's really confusing on that side of it. But he did get mission accomplished. He wrecked us, and I have no idea what it stems from. So tough day for us, our Miller Lite Dodge. And then just to hear that Bill France Jr. passed away, that's a tough moment. So I feel bad that, you know, some of this is going to be overshadowed. What I did, but the most important thing is the France family today, so condolences to them. And, you know, for me, we just didn't finish again by a guy not giving an inch. Plenty of guys behind me all stacked up. He had let a few guys go. Don't know where he's coming from today, so we're all real confused by.
Brian Vickers goes spinning in turn 1 after the checkered flag. Here's a look at it.
Whoa. Well, these guys were getting, and gals were getting very aggressive.
Well, in Harvick and Kenseth, they had fresh tires.
Now watch this. I think I see where the, yeah.
Ooh, that was deliberate. He went right.
Harv said, hey, bud. Save me a little room next time.
And evidently, Harvick did not like the way that Vickers raced Danica, so when they got to the checker flag and passed it, he just spun him out to show him that he didn't appreciate
afterwards,
that.
even after that.
Yeah. Well, that's part of it. Short track racing, we talked about emotion, we talked about blocking and bumping.
Harvick up about a half a line. Around goes Harvick. Around goes Ty Dillon. And Matt Crafton's able to get through.
Chase Elliott gets right in the side of Kevin Harvick.
A lot of damage to the...
Yep, we're skipping this. Because last time I tried to have that involved, NASCAR decided they wanted to be a dickhead and say, yeah, we're going to copyright claim that clip. Even though I've literally criticized it already once before. So, we're just going to skip ahead. And if you want to see the whole video, links down below.
Wide is good. It's a lot of contact. Oh, no. There they go.
Bristol, man. That's one of those, I don't know.
Didn't work out for either one of them. That was his slot job down in 1 and 2 to take the spot away from Kenseth. Now Kenseth tries to drive in hard.
Drives him up, lifts him up. Stewart's there. He's like, yeah, no, I'm not going to take that. They both, boom, and they just
call that racing.
Went left.
I mean, try to throw the blame there. That's just racing. Kenseth does slide up into Stewart a little. Tony comes down, trying to pin him down a little bit. That creates contact that gets Kenseth sideways.
Yeah, but I thought Tony had to get down a little bit. And we've talked about how just on the exit right there's not a lot of room. The groove's fairly narrow.
Tony
And
not very
boom.
happy.
I wonder how far that helmet flew coming off the car.
Well, we know what Tony thinks.
That's what I want to know. Like, they don't ever show that. It's like, I want to know how far and high that... Watch this, watch this. Here we go. I'm finally be able to see it now.
That's a perfect strike.
That's a nice throw.
That had to at least travel 30 feet.
You just used one hand, didn't you?
Yeah, I'm right.
I think he's got both hands. Look at that.
Boom. Look at that. That's easily over 100-something feet. Bam.
This was a little bit later on in the race. Coming
Another.
down the inside, getting past Tony
I'm just going to
Stewart,
nickname this the
and then
Tony
a little
Stewart
nudge
edition.
From Stewart in the number 20 car, saw Kenny Irwin spinning once again. 2 spins. Let's take another look at that. Down comes Irwin down the inside. A brave manoeuvre to get past. Just a slight contact from Tony Stewart, and round went Kenny Irwin. Well, they both survived that one. But it wasn't going to be forever, because Irwin got his revenge a little bit later in the race, lap 147. And this time, Tony Stewart backed heavily into the wall. Well, perhaps Irwin on board with him now. Take a look at this, giving a little nudge
no brakes,
to Tony
just
Stewart.
straight
Perhaps getting his
dump
revenge
and
for
run.
the earlier spins. These two used to race against each other in sprint cars. Tony Stewart said afterwards it was much the same in those days as well. But he was not very impressed. And as you can see, Tony Stewart here was out of his car, throwing his gloves at Kenny Irwin, and in fact picked up an official reprimand from the NASCAR organization. This is what Tony Stewart had to say at the time.
The first time was my fault, and it was an accident. I had my spotter go down and tell his spotter that it was an accident. And then he gave me a hard time getting by. The second time we got by him, and he started catching us after that. I mean, after that, we were a little slower than he was, and I moved up to let him around. He hits me off at 2, so I hit him back in 3 and 4 and spun him, so he took me on again.
See what I mean? Like, that's 9. We have how many? Let's see. Well, actually, that one might get demonetized. So yeah, there we go. You hit that like button, subscribe if you liked what you saw, and yeah, I will see y'all in the next one. Bye.